Could you please sit there? You have a seat for you. You're okay where you are? You want to be there? Okay, that's fine if you want to be there. Okay, thank you very much. Then we'll give you this chance to talk to us. So welcome, Mr. Orige, Chairman, Coffee Development Fund.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Kearney, all protocols observed. Good morning, or is it afternoon already? Good morning. My name is Lee Warwinge. I chair the board of Coffee Development Fund. And I'm usually not a very popular person when it comes to discussing coffee in such forums. I make very controversial statements, which I'm not going to make an exception today. But this is because I hold coffee dearly. If it wasn't for coffee, I wouldn't be studying here. I was educated with coffee money. I have worked in coffee, I've carried coffee, I've picked coffee, I've weeded coffee when I was a young person. And as a result, I was able to get educated. In fact, sometimes I wonder how come I became an agriculturalist after toiling so much in coffee farms. I was supposed to be discouraged, but I wasn't. You have been told the history of coffee, where it has come from and where we are at the moment. And we are trying to look now as to how we can improve coffee production. And I think we've got it right, but you can't improve coffee production unless we brought you guys on board so that you can take over coffee farming from your grandfathers and your fathers. But I have always told these gatherings like these ones that we are not going to win you over unless coffee became a paying crop. Unless you can put money in your pockets, I don't think that you are going to accept to toil the way we toiled in coffee. Like we did. We were doing it because we were doing it for our parents. But these days, I think it's only fair that you do it for yourselves. Coffee inherently has a problem. And this has been a problem that everybody has been running away from and refusing to solve. And this is a problem of market. When I travel from New York, I stop in Zurich to catch my flight to come home. I have a cup of coffee at 5 euros. 5 euros is how much? It's about 600 shillings a cup. I don't know whether you guys have ever done an exercise to see how many cups of coffee are in 1 kilo of coffee. I think I've done that exercise, I think it's 150. If you calculate that, you will see that coffee, how much that coffee is worth, the one that you are producing on the farm. And then work backwards and see how much you are getting. I think the whole disease of coffee production lies right there. That we have left our coffee to be in the hands of cartels that have been ripping us off. Sometimes they have been ripping us off in the assistance of ourselves, and also because of not doing anything about it. We must look into the way we market our coffee. If we don't sort that problem out, if this gathering here can't address itself to that problem and suggest solutions, we are going to sing this song for a long time. And we have sung it for a long time. When I was growing up, the coffee was, a kilo of sherry was, my father used to get maybe, if he was very lucky, 50 cents, but mostly 20 cents or 30 cents. But production was high. But because of climatic change and all the other problems that have come with it, production of coffee has dwindled. let us look at the way we should be marketing our coffee. Me, I have always said, the auction system is good, but it cannot be good if it's only opened to 4 or 5 people. You can never call it an auction. How can it be an auction if it's only 4 or 5 people who participate every single day? It's handing over our coffee, isn't it? Even when people are buying goats at Kimarat Primary for Christmas, it's advertised all over the country and everybody is invited to go there and buy goats, isn't it? Why can't we auction our coffee but invite everybody from all over the world so that demand can be high, so we can introduce competition and therefore drive our prices up? This question I've been asking and nobody has ever answered me. The other, of course, thing that you as young people need to do to get into the coffee is to improve your production. We have been told here that coffee can be produced at 20 kilos per tree. I know you can go way up to 40 kilos per tree. I know that. If you had 200 trees of coffee and you looked after it properly and you got 40 kilos, how many kilos is that? 8,000? If you are being paid properly, if we had worked out a marketing strategy that will give you 500 shillings per kilo of cherry, which is possible and which you should demand by improving your systems, how much money is that? So there's money in coffee. I want to encourage you, young people. There is money, and a lot of it, in coffee. We only need to get our act right, get yields, and get prices. Because even if you got your yields at 8,000, at 40,000, at 40 kilos per tree, and you got 100 shillings even for sherry, so you are still swimming in money. So you can start, as you are fighting for the regulations to be deregularized so that you can reach more markets. Why don't you start at the production end, improve your production, bring your production up, and then take advantage of the economies of scale? It's a challenge. Me, I'm not going to grow coffee anyway. I think my age for growing coffee is past. I'm not even the coffee at home now. I'm not looking after it because I've done it for a long time. I want other people to do. But my son will not go to look after it if he's not going to get money. So. Are you getting me? And this is a challenge I'm throwing to you, that you must look at both sides. You must look at the production side, and you must insist that the marketing system must also be improved. Because look at coffee. When you grow your beans, or your maize, or you fatten your ram, do you go to ask the government for permission to sell it? Why is it that only coffee that has to be regulated to such an extent that you have no control in your marketing, in the way, in where you are to sell your coffee? Somebody has to answer that to me. I have asked that question for many days, and I've never been given an answer. It's my coffee, why can't I sell it where I want? Maybe within a structured marketing system. I'm not proposing that we throw open everything and we allow everything, but I'm saying we need a structured marketing system controlled by the farmers themselves. But the system as we have now is that we have a marketing system that is controlled by the cartels that buy coffee. I have no apologies to make for saying that, because that is the truth. So I'm not going to talk a lot. I want just to throw that challenge to you, that look for solutions in those particular areas, and you are going to be rich. I'm inviting you to be rich. I'm telling you, it's not a laughing matter, it is the truth. Produce enough coffee, get your marketing right, and you are going to be rich. You would not even be wishing to come to Nairobi to do what? If you have 200 trees and you can make yourself 3-4 million shillings, why would you want to come to Nairobi? And then that now brings me to our role at Coffee Development Fund. At Coffee Development Fund, we are there to facilitate you to be rich. Are we together? So come to us, we'll give you money at a cheap rate where you can now improve your production. Improve your production by doing the right, practicing the right agronomical practices, and then you get good yields, and then you get money. 200 acres, you can look after, a family can look after their 200 trees, isn't it? 200 trees. Even one person can look after 200 trees. So this is a challenge I'm throwing to you, and I hope by the time you discuss and come up tomorrow with the proposals, you have found proposals, you have found answers for the 2 areas that I have proposed that can make you rich as young people. So, sir, thank you.
So, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Can we give him another clap, please? Now, if you've been following the activities of Nyeri County, you're probably aware that our governor, Honorable Derito Gachagua, has a vision for the sector, coffee. And wherever he goes, he talks about coffee. Even, I think if you have seen the papers today, he was in Sagana talking about coffee. So the county is very committed to develop coffee in this region so that the income of farmers in the region can be greatly improved, and so that we can also have the youth getting involved in the sector. So I'd want to invite Mr. Alfred Mureithi, who is representing the County Executive for Agriculture, Nyeri County, to come and give remarks.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, Kimathi University, who is the host for this forum, the Managing Director, Coffee Board of Kenya, Director, Coffee Research Foundation, the Chairman, CODF, and the Managing Trustee, CODF, the youth who have been invited in this forum, the invited guests, all protocols observed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you have been told, my name is Alfred Mureithi Kanampio. I am the County Director for Agriculture, that is Nyeri County. And I'm here to represent the County Executive Member for Agriculture. And therefore, by extension, I'm representing the county government in this forum. And I'm very glad to have been invited. Unfortunately, I was involved just 1 hour before I came, because the minister, actually the executive member is the equivalent of a minister within the county government. He is attending another meeting in Naivasha. They are trying to formulate policies to run the agriculture sector within the county. And most of the ministers are there because they want to do it jointly so that they are in line with the national policies, the way the Constitution says. So I'm here to represent him, and I don't have any written speech, and that one makes things even better for me, because I will be able to say what I know. Like the facilitator said, our governor, His Excellency, Derito Gachagua, is very passionate about coffee sector in this county. Because like most of us, we know by improving, reviving the coffee sector, we are able to to improve the economy of this county greatly. And therefore, that is one of the sectors which he has identified, and immediately the county governments came into force around July, August. He called for a stakeholder forum on to discuss how to improve the coffee sector, and it came up with a task force, which was formed to find ways and means of improving the sector within the Nyeri County. There were many members of this task force, and the madam from Kimathi University is a member of that task force, and therefore this university is very much involved in what the county government is doing to improve the coffee industry. And this forum could not have come at a better time than now, when we are trying to see how we can revive the sector in this county and many other counties. As I've said, the county government is very much committed to see that all the challenges being faced by this industry, we're trying to reduce them. It is being spearheaded by the topmost person, the equivalent of the president of this county, the governor, His Excellency Nderitu Kachagua. So all aspects of coffee value chain, from production to marketing to value addition and consumption, is with the county government. As far as production is concerned, we are faced with many challenges. And most of these challenges came about, like the way the chairman of the CODF said, due to poor marketing of coffee. Otherwise, if you give farmers good money, they will automatically improve their coffee. They have the knowledge. The only problem is the little money they get out of their produce. And even the youth. I know your problem is the returns from coffee. I think they are a bit low. So production, we are targeting to improve from what we are told, 2 to 3 kilograms per tree. We are targeting to 10 kilograms per tree. We're able to reach the potential of 35 to 40. We have some farmers within the county who produce 25, even 30, but they are scattered here and there. Like where those youth come from, you said you are from Gekada. Those areas, huko kwa ile mteremko ya Kangosho, there is very good coffee, and I'm sure there are some farmers there who can produce as much as 30 kilograms per tree. We are going to see the Sagana mills, and the governor talked about, there is this money which the county government, the national government was using to subsidize fertilizer. That money is now going to be channeled through the county government. And it is possible for the county government to utilize that money to do bulk purchasing of fertilizer, so that the price of fertilizer comes down at least to less than 2,000 shillings per bag, and at the same time, we are able to buy the type of fertilizer which we need in this county. Because in the past, we didn't have a lot of say in the type of fertilizer. It is very important because of the pH levels of our soils. You need the correct fertilizer to apply to various soil types. And therefore, we shall be able to, the Department of Agriculture will be able, through support by the education institutions like universities, we shall be able to determine the correct type of fertilizer to be applied to Nyeri County. So that our governor is the chairman of the Agriculture Committee in the National Council of Governors. So there we have an advantage, and it is all the best for him to clean his house first before he can go to clean others. That's why he is very passionate about agriculture in this county. You can see in Nyeri County we are very near to such kind of facilities, and we shall be able to utilize them. On marketing, yesterday all the farmers of Nyeri County, the representatives of farmers were at Sagana. I think you saw, either it was on the TV last night or you are going to have it today. The farmers were going to be shown the mills, the Sagana coffee mills, and they decided that all the coffee from Nyeri County is going to be milled at Sagana. Because what has been lacking in the milling of coffee is transparency. Because farmers just take their coffee to the mill, they don't know what the milling losses will be. They don't know what quality will be their coffee. They wait for 2 to 3 months before they are given the results from those mills. But at Sagana, the farmer will be able to be shown when the coffee from every factory is milled. The farmer will be able to be shown what has been the losses and what has been achieved. On succession, you all know, apart from this forum here, where I can see the minority are having gray hairs. When you go out there in the field, the people who own coffee is like, to qualify to be a coffee farmer, you must have some gray hairs like me. But here I can see youth with bright faces, and I'm sure when the youth are going to be involved in the coffee industry, we are not going to have any succession problems. Imagine if, after some time, dying is natural. If all those gray hairs are taken by God, does it mean that will be the end of the coffee sector? So we encourage you youth to get involved in coffee at any stage of the value chain. May it be at the production, value addition, marketing, transportation. Get involved at any time to Nyeri County, and feel free to interact, and I'll be able to be with you today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bwana Alfred Moreithi. So, ladies and gentlemen, this time I want to request our Vice Chancellor to invite our chief guest, who will give a speech and later on launch the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology Premium Coffee.
So it's my pleasure to invite the chief guest, but before she comes, I would like to indicate that the Principal Secretary, Dr. Berio Kipsang, who was previously the managing trustee of the Coffee Development Fund, was involved in the early stages of the preparation of this youth initiative. He was very keen on it, and even when he got the new assignment, the Principal Secretary, he's been following, and he has had an interest of really wanting to know what the university and the Coffee Development Fund have done with regard to this particular initiative, but more so with regard to essentially creating this capacity for the youth to be involved in the coffee industry. Of course, his mandate is very wide. He's concerned now with the education, basic education, technical education, and university education. So this also somehow falls under his mandate, although it might be indirectly. So he's represented today by the Senior Deputy Director on Policy Partnership at the Ministry, and it's now my pleasure to invite Margaret Murage to come and make the presentation on behalf of the Principal Secretary. So we could welcome her with a hefty clap.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chancellor. Now, the Vice Chancellor, Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, Professor Rango Kioni, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the members of the academic fraternity in this university, student fraternity, county officials, the youth fraternity in the coffee industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I greet you once again? Yes, I have been sent by my Principal Secretary, who is very much with you, as you have heard. He was once the CEO of the Coffee Development Fund, and this is a subject that he holds dearly, especially the involvement of the youth in the coffee industry. But now, he is engaged elsewhere, and he has sent me. Before I read his speech, I would also like to repeat that I'm very impressed with the involvement of the youth in the coffee industry, because actually this is farming, and when it comes to farming, the youth of the day just think that they go to school so that they get the armchair, armchair or desktop assignments, and agriculture is for the old. But we have just heard here, become a coffee farmer and become a millionaire, instead of languishing somewhere on a desk where you are getting peanuts. So with those remarks, I wish to go into the speech of my Principal Secretary. It is with a deep sense of pride that I join you here today to open the Youth in Coffee Conference. May I thank the organizers of this event for inviting me, and also availing opportunity for the youth to network with various stakeholders. This is the first of its kind in the coffee industry in Kenya. Can you clap for ourselves? Indeed, I'm proud of this university for taking the lead in the revitalization of the coffee sector in our country using technology and research. Ladies and gentlemen, universities are expected to chart new insights and direct relevance to society through engagement with the stakeholders. I wish to thank the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology Management for taking up this initiative. May I also thank the various stakeholders who may have come all the way to avail opportunities to our youth, and also to participate in discussions aimed at finding solutions to the challenges ailing the coffee sector in the country. I'm sure that today's deliberations and even tomorrow's will go into record to have formed key strategies that will place the coffee industry at the peak in contributing to the socio-economic development of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, to attain the aspiration of Vision 2030, which acknowledges the significance of science, technology, and innovation in national development, the government has introduced various legislations or laws aimed at reforming the university education in the country. And some of these include the Universities Act of 2012, which is supposed actually to enable universities come up with programs that are aligned to socioeconomic development, not only at the national level, but also at the global level. The sessional paper number 14 of 2012, which starts all the way from early childhood development education to the university level, which recognizes that you have to form the base when the child is very young, because if you miss it there, you have missed it. And maybe some of the questions we are asking at the university level involve some, bad starting at the early childhood level. We also have the Public-Private Partnership Act of 2013, which recognizes the partnership between the government and other stakeholders, that is development partners, communities, non-governmental organizations in the development of the nation, because the government also needs others. And that's why we are here today. Then we have the Science, Technology and Innovation Act of 2013 that underlines research and innovation as being very vital in development, coming up with the new findings so that we don't keep on relying on the technology of the colonial technology in the coffee industry. You see, that's what we have been challenged about. These laws demand that universities play a more active role in national development over and above their traditional roles of teaching, research, and community service. Therefore, as a university, we should remain at the forefront through concerted efforts with our stakeholders, work together to transform the livelihoods of our nations. In other words, we are saying universities should no longer be just considered as places where we just produce academics. We need to see them blending with the communities. And we are very proud of the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, because we can see today evidence of that fact. I'm happy to note that this university, through the Institute of Food Bioresources Technology, has undertaken to provide quality and relevant training to the coffee industry, subsector, by developing a coffee technology curriculum at both the certificate and diploma levels. And I'm sure it will move all the way to the degree levels. At any level, you can even go up to the PhD level. This is intended to address the human resource requirement through training, research, and technology transfer for the coffee subsector. And it will automatically translate into increased productivity, where you are not producing just a bag in a year, efficiency and value addition to the coffee value chain. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jubilee government places the youth as a top priority in its development agenda. That's what we have been hearing today. We need continuity. When we all are gone, who will continue with our agenda? Who will continue with the coffee industry? And that's why you are here today. Today's focus on youth in coffee contributes to a large extent into achieving the aspirations of our government aimed at empowering our youth economically. May I therefore challenge you, the youth who are here today, to take this opportunity and create a network that will enable you to triumph over your peers within and beyond the borders in the near future. I also strongly believe that your full participation in research and technology development in this sector will create more employment opportunities and wealth for our people. You'll become an employer if you are fully engaged. You can start with 5 employees, 10 employees, and you become a whole industry in yourself. Let this be a center of excellence in commercialization of coffee. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to assure this university of government support to enable it achieve its vision. Currently, this university is listed among the top other 8 public universities to benefit from a grant from from the African Development Bank for supply of engineering, science and technology equipment. I think we should clap that one of high. Yes. This will boost the capacity of the university to enable students and lecturers undertake research using the modern technologies. I therefore want to challenge all the youth to make maximum use of these facilities and generate high quality coffee products that can be sold all over the world. We don't just look around, Mount Kenya region, go beyond, go to Sudan, beat Ethiopia, beat Uganda, beat the others, go out there, beat everybody, Brazil and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, as a university, you must take the lead in efforts geared towards conserving the environment by initiating research that supports protection of forests, wetlands, and water catchment areas, especially in the Mount Kenya region. This will go hand in hand with enhancing coffee farming. We have heard that coffee farming has been decimated, and one of the reasons is that we have decimated our forests. And therefore the rainfall has also, being decimated. Nature reacts that way. So we have that, role to perform. This university must partner with county governments, and we are happy to see that the county government is fully represented here in the region and beyond, to educate residents on the need for not only environmental conservation, but also coffee farming. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to urge all our stakeholders and development partners here to work closely with this university so that we can reposition ourselves in the global market for coffee. As a country, we have the will and the potential to get there. We have everything. Today's initiative gives the coffee industry in Kenya a competitive edge in Africa, whereby the entire process from development of new knowledge for production, processing, and marketing of coffee is a collective venture between the academia and the industry. I also wish to note with gratification and pleasure that the university has already set the pace for developing a model coffee technology center. And this will serve as a reference point for the coffee subsector for both local and international clients. The center will comprise of modern coffee processing equipment, including roasting and packaging equipment, and a coffee quality evaluation laboratory to facilitate training